comes crashing in and reminds me of the past. And sometimes I hear your name. Sometimes I hear your name. It reminds me of the pain. Well, I guess you read me right, 'cause I am a foolish man. But at least I understand. But at least I understand. And I've learned to live with it. Memories like grains of sand, lying helpless on the beach. But the ones you need so bad, the ones you need so bad, are the ones you cannot reach. seems like grains of sand. Good evening, everybody. I'm doing something I don't normally or haven't been doing lately, but I'm streaming out to both platforms at the moment. I am not really certain how many followers I still have on this backup channel, but let's just say I'm going to pull an Elon Musk and give YouTube a big F you. And I hope they're listening because they can just kiss my happy white American. Yes. You know, for those who may not know, there was a point in time when I had a YouTube channel that was growing quite well. A channel that I'd had for almost 20 years. You know, not that I can't say that it doesn't bother me, but it does bother me, especially when I find out behind the scenes. I mean, it was suspected. It's suspected. But no emphatic, hey, point the finger at it. Yes, they did this. And as most everybody knows, what they nailed me for was medical misinformation. So now it's coming out that they were directly working with the Biden administration to shut people like me up. Well, you know what, Biden? You can F off too. You know, I'm generally a very calm, cool, collected. I try to keep my cool, but you can ask my wife here. I'm literally almost to the point of shaking. I'm so pissed off about this. Misinformation. And how many damn lies did they tell us? About the whole magic potion thing and what it was supposed to do. How many lies did they tell us? And as most people knows me, I didn't put stuff out unless I had good reason to believe it to be true. You know, my thoughts are beings that they seem to think that now they're working with the governments and they're the arbiters of truth and things like that. But I got a lot of things to think about, but I will tell you this, people. I hope some lawsuits start flying. Because if they're going to be a part of the government and an extension of the government for censorship of people, they're no longer an independent platform or a private business. They're an agent of the government. Just unreal, folks. Unreal. You know, how many people how many people, went and got this shit because they didn't tell the damn truth. How many people got sick? How many people are no longer here? But they want to shut people up from asking questions? Is that where we're at now? I think that, in my mind, that puts them partly responsible for anything that happened to all this shit. They feel that, because, I tried to work with them and things like that and show them, hey, I'm not talking out my ass here. I'm citing, published information, doctors and stuff like that. The thing is, I'm just a little guy. They censored doctors, biologists, researchers, people who have been doing this shit all their lives, experts in the fields. They claim that, well, it's for the good of everybody. It's to keep everybody safe. Well, how many people did they not keep safe from doing the shit they did? How many people? Yep, no doubt, AMC. No doubt. Most of them don't give two shits about veterans, and they sure as hell don't give a shit about the people, it seems. Is this what it's come to now in all of our damn countries, where if the government doesn't approve of what you say, hey, sit down, little boy, little girl, sit down in the corner, shut your mouth. Well, how about kiss my damn ass? Well, for sure, AMC. The country, the government is not the country. That's what the people seem to mistake. That's what the government mistakes. They aren't this country. The people are. When I took my oath when I was in the military, it wasn't to the damn government, it was to the Constitution of the people of this country. Something our politicians, it seems, have forgotten. Or just willfully ignore. Same with these damn corporations. I think there's a few videos out on a couple videos out on YouTube, but this is posted on Fox Business, not the main page, but just Fox Business. White House worked with YouTube to censor COVID-19 and vaccine misinformation. House Judiciary Committee. And flattery. By the way, I'll throw this link in chat for people who want to go read this article. I'd read it verbatim like I usually do, but I tell you, I don't know if I get through it. So I'm freaking livid. This is the link to the article, folks, for anybody that wants to go read it. And the guy that was in charge of organizing this shit with them now is working on Biden's campaign. Imagine that. You're right, Utah. They will never let a crisis go to waste. But in this case, orchestrated comes to mind. They don't wait for them now. They just seems like possibly just create them. Let them happen. It's like the videos coming out on the J6 stuff. Absolutely, Utah. Absolutely. Manufactured. It was one of the senators now that did an interview come out and said that they the committee they're on figured there's up to around 200 either agents or somebody they've hired to stir shit up that day. And that they've been working on it possibly for months prior to it, getting into groups to egg them along to come out there and cause trouble. I don't know if we can AMC. I don't know. I look at what goes on in there, and many of the ones who are supposed to be Republican seems like they need some motivation to actually be Republican. How you doing, Big D? Good to see you. Hey, Chris. So I mean, this isn't going to be a super long stream or anything like that, but I suspected this when they took me down, took my channel out, shit like that. But now, when you see it admitted to, it's like being kicked right in the nuts. For doing what? Trying to tell people the truth, or at least as close to the truth as what we can get anymore nowadays. It's hard to derive that anymore, especially when they seem to got their fingers in anything and everything we do. How you doing, Rick? Good to see you, brother. Yeah. How you doing, Deb? Yeah, it is infuriating, Llama. It's seriously infuriating. Most of us do our best in this world to try and help people, to try and be decent people. But what do we got now? We got government and corporations colluding to shut people up that may have helped somebody. I'm thankful that I didn't follow through this. And I'll tell you, I was fooled at the beginning, just like anybody else. But how many people went through with this stuff? Now, how many times did they change their story? But yet I'm the one who's not telling the truth. I'm the misinformation. Hell, I had a video taken down just because I made a montage of the shit that they said that turned out to be untrue. But that's quite all right. It's okay when it's governmental information, quote unquote, or unapproved. That's quite all right. I'd like to see these a-holes, what their thoughts would be if it was somebody in their family, one of their friends. Same thing with mainstream media. I'm actually shocked that Fox put this on. I don't know what their motives. Although if you read the article, they do get kind of descriptive in a few things that I think they could have been a little better about. But at least they put it out there. I'll tell you, Lama, if I had money to throw away, um, they would literally have to remove me from their ass because I'd be so far up it wouldn't be funny. Whether it go anywhere, I don't know. But I just can't believe that, you know, uh, I just, I just, yep, no doubt, AMC. You ain't wrong, Llama. And you're right, Rick. The lunatics are literally running the asylum. Ain't no doubt about that. And it's all over. Like in Dan's country, over New Zealand, they had 11,000 exemptions. They were denying them to people. Those 11,000 exemptions. Guess who they were? The government and the elites, not the people. Iceland now has banned the shit out thing because of excess deaths. They won't even allow the crap anymore. That's what we're relegated to. It's like, we make the joke about being sheep, but literally they do. In fact, I don't even think they consider us sheep. I think they consider us, well, I'll be careful on what I'm going to say a little bit. You ain't wrong, Llama. And these assholes should be responsible for that as well. They tell everybody like me when they took me down. Well, you can't be telling people something that we don't go by. That's not by the net. That's beyond our guidelines. Oh, really? How you doing, Aussie? Good to see you. They'll let videos go around of people literally showing hard drugs, all kinds of. We both know of. We both know. We all know of certain actions taken by certain groups that they allow. That's just fine. That's quite all right. But this right here, yeah. And what they call misinformation. Well, that's awfully strange. Which misinformation? That it didn't stop the shit, didn't stop you from catching it, didn't stop you from spreading it, didn't stop you from going to the doctor for it, and didn't stop you from dying from it. But I'm the one that had misinformations and outside the guidelines. According now, I guess, the collaboration between the government and them. No, sorry, Ossie, I haven't yet. I've been a little beside myself, to put it mildly. This is what we're stuck with. And don't question anything. I don't mean to single out just YouTube. It's just it happens to be a big stick in my ass about the shit that they did. But it's not just this platform. I don't. It's like on Twitch. I don't save any videos on there because I know I know damn well they take my ass down. I'm just that kind of lucky that they don't monitor them in real time. Well, that's the thing, Llama. You you look at the absurdities that's going on in our judicial system, and I'm not just talking about Trump. Here in Michigan, the big thing when it comes to the shit that they're trying to talk about, they're literally arresting people for being donors to the people who question the 2020 election or the 2022 election. Ask me how I know. And the police up here caught a group of them that had old gift cards, guns with silencers, and throwaway phones, all kinds of stuff. And the group that was doing it was working in 20 different states. And here they put out they posted out ballots to 800,000 people. That's not my guess numbers. That's the numbers the police say in their report. 2 shouldn't have had them. Oh yeah, for sure, AMC. I don't worry. I don't worry much either. I mean, what will come will come. But I'll tell you what, it just sometimes it takes a little bit to get me pissed off. And I'll tell you what, I'm just a little more than pissed off at the moment. Back to what I was saying about, but we're all told to shut up about that too. Oh, not the question there. It wouldn't have made any difference. I mean, there 800,000 people don't make a difference. We can't verify that. We don't know. That's the world we live in now. And it's we're okay with making kind of fun of it, calling it clown world and stuff like that. And it is. It's absurd. I think they do this shit on purpose because they want somebody to get pissed off enough to do something rash so they don't have to manufacture the shit. I'm not quite that stupid. But it doesn't mean it still don't piss me off. And then what I don't get. Now, don't get me wrong. I think there's some people in our federal Congress and our state Congresses that are actually good people trying to do the good thing and the right thing. But where's the justice at? They're more than happy. They still got people locked up from the J6 stuff. And in my opinion, after seeing the stuff that I see, they should have been let out the next damn day, given an apology, and everybody involved with it, to include the former committee of the former administration that was, or former controlling party of the House, should be brought up on charges. That's just my opinion. Whether they lied purposely or lied by omission, it doesn't change the fact that they prosecuted people on lies. No, Llama, I don't think we're too late. I do think we're going to be a long time digging out of this crap, but I don't think we're too late. I just got to watch a piece today. See a judge finally smack down a government lawyer telling them, because they were trying to argue somebody didn't have standing to contest the machines and how they voted and stuff like that. And the judge says, well, if they don't have standing, who does? And we heard all the shit that went on. Everybody says, oh, there was no proof of anything like that. No, they threw out all the court cases. No, they didn't. The judges didn't have enough balls to stick up for what was actually law. Finally, one did. Now, whether it makes a difference or not, we'll see yet. Yeah, no doubt, Rick. And it's the same way down there in Australia. I mean, I watched some of the things come out, the couple of guys that are out of your parliament down there, and it just absolutely floors me that the answers that they give to them people to justify stuff. Yeah, I don't know, Llama. Yeah, no doubt. That's become the norm in a lot of things, AMC. It's like, you hear all these things they bandy about Trump calling him, he's a fascist or he's a Nazi here. It's just, well, wait a minute here. The definition of fascism is when government and corporations are in collusion. That's called fascism. So who the hell are the real fascists? Yeah, I can give you a couple of reasons there, AMC. Greed, ignorance, stupidity, all of the above. Yeah, absolutely, Lana. That's the thing. They're not just erasing it, they're rewriting the narrative. just like this here. You know, if it this kind of stuff right here very well could have easily gone through, brushed under the rug, never seen of again, never talked about again, and they'd have went on with business as usual. Really, I mean, and it's not just the censorship thing; it's everything. Everything from the magic potion to the coof, the origins of it, and I still see people screaming up and down that it came from a bat or a pagulon in a wet market. You got to be a special kind of something to still be buying that. I don't, Utown, that's true and untrue at the same time. Our problem is we try to be decent people, whereas the ones who are on the opposite side of our as it's quote unquote ideology, I guess, aren't. They don't care if they get you fired from a job or the whole cancel culture thing and all that stuff. They don't care about that. They don't care. Yeah, absolutely, Rick. Yep, I know what you mean, AMC. Well, therein lies the big lie again, AMC. When it comes to that kind of stuff, yeah, they don't want you questioning that either. Oh, the temperature's rising. The temperature. Well, yeah, the temperature's rising depending upon where you start the measurement at. And I got to watch a video that showed a chart of the temperature changes over the, like, I don't know, like the last 1,000 years or so, a couple thousand. It was 5 degrees warmer in the Middle Ages. I didn't know that. And right now they're screaming up and down because we might go to higher than it was 100 some odd years ago. But yet they don't go back prior to that, all the dips and peaks and all that stuff, and how much temperatures actually changed, strangely enough, without the Industrial Revolution. Almost like it was a natural cycle. Yeah, that's for sure there, Latina. I agree with you on that. That's another thing too. Um, as much as many people, I can't believe how many people had a fit when Gates brought about the whole thing to oust McCarthy. But that was one of the things that they had agreed to, that they were going to pull a vote to talk about term limits. That was one of the agreements. And he balked at every one of them. It's crazy. Oh yeah, for sure. BlackRock, Vanguard, well, Bill Gates and people like that are kind of a institution upon themselves, but we know all the players. All the things they used to call conspiracy theories. The WEFs and the Bilderbergs and the what was it? The Pacific Free Trades Agreements and the Atlantic Agreements and all this shit. Where all these corporations can take and go from country to country and run roughshod and have no accountability to any country anywhere. Do whatever the hell they want. Kind of strange how with this right here, how they work hand in hand, but yet many of these companies scream up down, well, the government stopped me, the government's doing this and doing that. Well, it's awful funny. They seem to be working quite well with them to take and shut people up. No, actually not a town princess. I'm not trying to get in trouble. I'm just telling the damn truth. If they don't like the truth, fuck them. Excuse my French. It's just, it's absolutely sickening the things that are going on in this society, but yet we're supposed to just shut up and not say a damn thing. Well, absolutely not, Italian. They definitely don't like the truth. So it seems many other of the populace do as well. But I don't know if people don't get it by now. I don't know if they ever will. I just I don't know. Yeah, common sense isn't so common anymore, Utah. I even coined the term denialism now, or escapism, or whatever, because that seems to be the default for people. And the thing is, just like this right here, we're gonna hear many from the other side scream up and down and squeal and squeal and squeal. Oh no, that's not true. They didn't do that. That ain't really what happened. Oh, really? They tried to cancel me from everything, quite literally. Yeah, for sure. And it just astounds me the shape that not just our well, corporations, social media, government, our Congress, our judicial systems. Although I am seeing a couple bright lights here and there, but not very many. It's just how they're getting away with the stuff they're getting away with, and how any of those people who fomented this shit and the ones that are going along with it just floors me. How can you be that much of a shit human being? How you doing, Mac? And that's why I said earlier, that's part of our problem. We're too nice. Yeah, no doubt, Rick. The you ain't wrong there, Latina. You ain't wrong there. and it seems to be predominantly specific to one side of ideology. And I'm not saying it's generally across the board. I won't brush with that big a stroke, but predominantly. Gee, I wonder why that is. Because they believe in absolute fantasy. Well, that's certainly part of it there, Latina. But another part of it is it's allowed the ignorant of society to group together and compound their ignorance. Let's see who can out stupid each other, out dumbass each other. That seems to be the thing now. Some of these videos I see, some of the stuff that people do. It's just like the old joke is, you get in a fight and you start screaming, "Stop hitting me," while somebody's punching in the face, and they're screaming, stop hitting me," while they're punching in the face. It's just like I watched a piece there talking about shoplifting in Minneapolis. One guy literally, I could forget what chain it is, what store chain it is, but they figure he's cost him $150,000 in products at the moment. And the guy was in prison before. But yeah. I mean, just walk in, walk out. Nobody does shit. Yep, that too, Latina. Well, I'll tell you what, Latina. I'm trying to remember what politician it was, but they would like to do is have it so you can take and their ideal thing is if everybody could vote electronically over their phone, and they could literally waive their rights to vote and give their right to vote to politicians or people running.
To somebody else.
To somebody else. Literally. I mean, how absolutely insane do you got to be to take and think that's a great idea? That's how we get the crap we got now. Actually, it'd be way worse than the crap we got right now.
Mm-hmm.
AMC, they're not trying. In places they are. Maybe not in federal elections, but they are at state level. New York's done it. And that's a whole new, that's a whole other level of insane going on there. Their governor just pretty much self-appointed herself as a dictator. So New York, some of the laws they passed. And the same thing they're trying to do here where I'm at. Yeah, just think about that there, AMC. Many of those people are getting paid and benefits above and beyond what our own welfare system's doing, and above beyond what they even will help our own veterans with. But boy, they'll just pass that money out like it's hotcakes to somebody coming across the border. That's another thing too. You know, I find it awfully strange that one of the huge deniers of the whole Pizzagate thing. No, oh gee, they got busted for what? Oh, child pornography and maybe trafficking. Oh, huh. Maybe people weren't so nuts after all, huh? It's like the Seth Rich stuff. That there's a court case on that now, and they got to come to an agreement about how that's going to get released because the FBI wanted to hold the information for 67 damn years. Huh. Where have we heard that before? I'll tell you something else about wind turbines, Rick, that I didn't know of up here, especially where I'm at, where it's cold. One of those things, which up here some of the numbers are released, they literally are only running 20 to 25% of the time. But they use the electricity of the average household every day just to keep the lubricants and the oils and stuff warm. So when and if they actually do run, they can run. That's nuts. Literally, absolutely nuts. Well, actually, Llama, much of it's already come out about Facebook. Well, we know what happened with the Twitter files. We all suspected what I'm showing here today was probably the case, but there was no emphatic proof. We couldn't directly say it. Well, now I can. I wished I'd have had this to when I was filing my appeal to throw in their face because I'd have been a lot more colorful than what I was in my replies to them. Talking about that, Rick? Yeah, that's a good question, ain't it? That's like you ask them how they expect to live without plastics or anything like that, right? Or maybe they can do it like they do paper straws up in Canada. That works out so good. That's awesome. Now, don't get me wrong. I won't say that pollution is not a problem because it absolutely is, but let's put the fault where the fault is. That's like the people up in Canada. Feel sorry for them. People in the UK, I feel sorry for them. People in Germany, I feel sorry for them. Me and Uwe was talking about that this morning. It's just absolutely batshit crazy and stuff going on over there. Well, that's what's really funny there, Llama. The only time that we're actually seeing anything done about, like, say, the election stuff is when it happens to be screwball against a screwball. Yep, for sure, Sherry B, for sure. Before it, well, let me look and see what you're talking about, Rick. That one. Yep, for sure. Like, you know, I'm gonna delve into something too that I think is a lot of woo, but it's like the whole UFO thing. You know, you got news articles coming out now claiming that they got information and stuff like that that the government's really is hiding and covering shit up and stuff like that. I don't know if they are. I don't know how true it is because I could think of some scenarios where they'd want to do that anyway. But there was a bill going through Congress that all that information was supposed to be released, and they were supposed to create a cabinet or some kind of group that's supposed to monitor that stuff. So it did. If the kind of shit goes on, it does get released to the public. And there's a bunch of details I'm leaving out here, but the gist of it is, it was all set and settled. And then old Schumer put in an amendment. And guess what? We had a couple of Republicans taken during the holiday week, jump ship and decided that, well, they got to support that. People don't need to know crap about what's going on. Why should they know the truth? We'll keep them guessing. Not that I buy their bullshit anyway, but doesn't change the fact that they don't want transparency about something. You know, considering we got a Pentagon that can't account for 50% of their budgets and their assets. You know, I'm fairly certain if we were to send in our taxes to the IRS and we didn't account for 50% of our shit, they'd be so far up our ass we wouldn't know where they started and where we ended. But that's what we got now. I want to get the names of these Republicans that did that, but the gist that I got, it was kind of like a big FU for McCarthy getting ousted. I can't say that for certain. I don't know. That's speculation on some people's parts. But I'd sure like to know. You know, it's like the whole child trafficking thing or the excess deaths. Any number of things. It doesn't seem like any of these politicians want to touch shit about any of it. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt, Big D. But don't pay your carbon tax and watch what happens. You'll have them right up your rear end. But it's quite all right when it comes to the politicians. They can do criminal stuff. That's quite all right. Nothing wrong with that. Just like collusion between corporations and government administrations. Yeah, and the thing of it is, our congressmen and our senators could stop this shit in a heartbeat, bring it all to a screeching halt if they actually give a shit about doing their job. And as I said, don't get me wrong, I don't want to brush this, not everybody, but it seems like the predominant ones, you can guarantee when they pass something bipartisan, somebody's getting screwed, and it's usually the American people. Or, and I guess I shouldn't say that. In any of our countries, it seems like when they pass something that's bipartisan, it's the people that get screwed. That's what we have now. You know, and then I see some people argue about some of the most asinine stuff online. Just blows my mind. And they wonder why they get away with this shit. It reminds me of two little kids fighting over a damn lollipop. That seems to be what society's relegated to as a bunch of children. And you guys got to treat them as such. You wouldn't want to hurt their fifis. I could expand on that, but boy, I'd definitely get smoked then. I think we all know what I'm referring to. But folks, there we have it, black and white. And just think about all the weird things we see going on these platforms. And I don't want to say that it's just here, but it's the fact that what they've done here seems to be predominantly, the most visible. Well, absolutely, AMC. It doesn't shock me one bit in the least. Whose nephew or brother or uncle or son or daughter or whatever actually owns that stuff and being paid for that? How many of these NGOs that foment this child trafficking are actually getting paid through grants from our government? Kind of like the Wuhan lab got grants from our government to do the shit they did, allegedly. Yeah, how much of our money is going to the UN? No doubt. There's a whole nother rub when it comes to organizations that have no accountability to any country. It's like Brian. I wish he was here too, because he'd probably keep me a little more on keel at the moment. But all this crap that they're doing, these laws that they're passing, not just here but everywhere, it's just insane, nuts. Yep, no doubt. There, Rick, shows you what their real motivations are now, ain't it? Yeah, I couldn't give you a number, AMC. I could not give you a number. Um, the insanity of that too is that's kind of like the WHO. I don't know how many people have actually listened to some of these people talk, but I think my dog's got a higher IQ than some of them. I'm almost positive of that. I'm damn sure positive of that, tell you the truth. And what floors me about that, and I talked about this on another panel at one point in time, was like the WHO. They do the whole, well, we give ourselves indemnity to any laws. We don't have to abide by any country's laws. Like so when their workers go out and rape a bunch of women, they just pay them $250 a piece. But the perpetrators don't go to jail because they don't have to abide by those countries' laws. That must be a hell of a thing to be in a position where you can just say, well, I don't have to abide by any country's laws just because I am who I am. And our politicians seem to think that's quite all right. A-OK. I will say this, at least I'm starting to see a few countries that are pulling out of the WHO. At least somebody's got some common sense. Now, whether that's, you know, whether they were motivated by actual giving a shit about their people or the fact that enough people are PO'd about this stuff that they'd be running an office if they don't. But you don't see none of them talking about it. Kind of like the IMF, same thing. They create the shit we're supposed to use. Who the hell are they? What country are they accountable to? Nobody. They're only accountable to themselves, and they create the very same things that we're supposed to abide by in our own countries. How you doing, Kenny? Well, quite frankly, AMC, I don't blame them. But the problem is, it isn't the U.S. so much as the American people as it is the assholes who are in charge at the moment. And sorry if anybody's got kids or sensitive ears. I usually try to be a little more cordial, but I probably shouldn't be drinking coffee while I'm talking about this stuff because all it does is just get me ever more antsy. But that's what we live in now. And according to this, we're just supposed to shut up and be quite all right with it, no matter what it is. Don't talk about whether or not somebody might have a rare reaction to something, or we might not like what politicians are doing. We might not like what organizations are doing that have no sovereignty to any country. We're supposed to just shut up. Then don't question anything that's voted on because, it's the most safe and secure thing that's ever been. Hell, if it was sliced bread, we'd be throwing our loaves out the door. Exactly, Llama. Comply or get silenced. That's why I'm on both platforms right now. We all know how many people that were talking about any of this stuff that actually were authoritative on it have been silenced or removed. Doctors, lawyers, researchers, people whose life work was this stuff. And the ones I do see still that are still going, they got to jump through a million hoops and we got to play in gray areas now. We can't say anything's de facto. It's all a gray area. I'm right there with you, Llama. I'm right there with you. It seems quite all right when that they can try to twist the words of the Constitution, Bill of Rights, or anything like that when it serves their purpose. But yet, well, they don't want to abide by it themselves. That'd be too much to ask. Yeah, no doubt, Ryden. No doubt. When I first read this, I was still pissed off that, like, right now, I am literally numb. Literally. I have seen so much utter, absolutely insane, corrupt, uh, lies in these past few years. I don't even know how to wrap my head around it. When I started doing these things and having these talks, there was a running joke between me and Andy. You know, could it get any crazier? Little did we know that what we were talking about there didn't even scratch the surface yet. Oh, absolutely, Llama. That's what they do in third world countries, for sure. And that's what they're trying to turn all the Western world in, is back into third world countries. And the thing of it is, even with this, most of the information that we get that you can actually kind of rely upon by independent third party people. But it's kind of like this. Every once in a while, the mainstream media will tell the truth. Although, if you read that, there's the way they word things. Uh, you can tell they're still trying to follow a narrative. Anyone taxi ride? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Well, I think it's pretty obvious what I'm talking about. You do is look at the screen. That's what set this whole stream on about. Collusion between the platform we're on at the moment and government to censor people. Yeah, that's an understatement. World is crazy, people is crazy. Ain't no doubt about that in more ways than one. Welcome back, AMC. I don't know, Llama. I really don't. It really isn't that hard to be informed or pay attention to what's going on. Oh yeah, there, Chaplain. It's insane. But the only reason I'm doing both platforms is because, yeah, the whole KMA thing comes to mind. Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're correct. It's only the beginning. Yeah, I'm afraid we're going to be a long time digging out of this one. Well, I don't know, Lama. There's a lot of people I can tell you right now that aren't doing so good. I think a lot more than what people know. I think people though are just kind of lost for what to do. You know, you know, what literally what does one person do? Actually, Big D, I think you have that not quite right. Likely that the financial collapse is being or will be allowed to usher in the whole digital currency and give them reasoning, which they'll just go back to doing. Then they don't have to. They can go back to instead of having a printing press, they just punch numbers in. So I think we're gonna have a little bit of both. I do suspect before this coming year is over, it's going to be absolutely crazy. Oh yeah, no doubt, taxi ride. Yeah, that's their AMC. That's the insanity. Wrap your mind around that. You know, and the thing is, you should word that differently. We can't even pay the interest on the debt. Washington doesn't pay shit. None of our governments do. It's always easy to spend money when it's somebody else's wallet. Same old song and dance, same thing over and over again, rinse and repeat. But for anybody that wants to read this, I'm going to post a link one more time. Um, I would suggest that you do read it. It'll fill it out a little better for you. You know, and let's see where it goes from here. I'm hoping that this spawns some lawsuits. Oh, I know what you mean, AMC. I know what you mean, brother. Yeah, no doubt, Big D. The thing of it is, too, is if they get their way with digital currency, you don't have to worry about that because they'll make sure you only get your 3 ounces of meat a week. I don't know, Big D. I suspect that the current pace of stuff, something's going to give sooner or later. There's no doubt about that. But I think they're trying to literally foment turmoil in our countries. We know why they allowed so many people across the border. We know why. Look at the protests and shit going on. Yeah, I know how you feel, AMC. This stuff just absolutely makes me livid at times. But anyways, folks, I'm going to jump off my soapbox. I've kind of said my piece at the moment. Surprisingly enough, I didn't get smoked in the middle of this live stream on YouTube. So, yeah. Yep, you're correct, Taxi Rider. It is like Hunger Games. It very much is. But anyways, folks, I guess I'll close it as I started it. Kind of relaxing to do that, to tell you the truth. So everybody take care. I'll see you soon.
And it all comes crashing in and reminds me of the past. And sometimes I hear your name. Sometimes I hear your name. It reminds me of the pain. Well, I guess you paired me right, 'cause I am a foolish man. But at least I understand. But at least I understand. And I've learned to live with it. Memories like grains of sand, lying helpless on the beach. ones you need so bad. The ones you need so bad are the ones you cannot reach. Memories like grains of sand.
You know, I just might do a twofer on the originals just because I feel like it. Let's go a little heavy. Then I'll get out of here.
The city's burning on the gasoline, dying in the battle of mediocrity. Go ahead and plan another chip in me. Finish all the suffering, all your hopes and all your dreams. They crystallize, they crystallize, they crystallize, they crystallize. Welcome to the people till they trust in you. Making them and parents in your point of view. Giving dreams and glory in your fantasies. Leaves me up inside my mind. All the trust and all the time. They crystallize. They crystallize. They crystallize. They crystallize. Smoking mirrors leave my mind astray. And all your broken heroes sit on Judgment Day. And all the ones you see naked and so decay. I no longer have a name, buried in my bitter shame. It crystallized, it crystallized, it crystallized, it crystallized.
All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out. Everybody have a good one. Hope for the best. Keep your head on a swivel. Ain't no doubt about that anymore. And by the way, Garlic, that's about as close to Barbie Girls I get. And I'm out of here in 3, 2, 1. Have a great night, folks. Later.